in bits. Wink, wink. But yeah, so are you done? I don't feel like sitting down. Right? Are we done?
Yes.
Oh, that's sad. I really had a good time.
Thank you very much, Sam. Before we head to the next session, which according to the program is about how blockchain is transforming financial services. I just wanted to hear from the audience by way of acclamation. How many of you guys would want us to have a discussion about Africoin?
Africoin.
Yes.
Coins.
Yes, Africoin. How many?
What about what is that?
What is that? Well, there's only one way to find out after this session. So the next session will be it will be taken over by Anthony Gitonga.
Good evening. So that very long presentation, but I'm going to start with it. So how many are from financial background? So today you ask a very good question on how can people invest in Bitcoins, why should they invest? If it's a good investment idea, my answer to all that is yes, it's a very good investment idea. So yeah, this the header there is all about blockchain, what is Bitcoins, etc, which you already know based on how the day has been. So, I came from a company called Moneyjet, and we offer cryptocurrencies as investment opportunities. All along during the day, we mentioned about Bitcoins, Ethereum, and all those has been from a commodity-based point of view. And today I want to tell you how to invest in those as assets, as asset classes, not as a means of exchange. And I want to take you slowly. First one is, how many years of the S&P 500 index? Dow Jones and the CEO share from the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Okay, so all those, for instance, the S&P 500 is an aggregate of 500 best performing US companies. The Dow Jones, it's an industrial average index of the best performing American manufacturers and factories.
NASDAQ.
Yeah, they are listed on the NASDAQ, yeah. So, and between 1871 and 2016, the S&P 500 has produced an average annual return of 10%. For those of you invested in the Kenyan Stock Exchange, it's way lower. It's about 6% annual returns unless you invest in the government T-bills, which would be around 15%. So, but in comparison, the Bitcoins themselves have seen an average annual return of 374% since 2010. And in the audience of a friend who invested about 50,000 and got 4 million back. Whom? No, you can tell us. You always
Actually, that investors in Bitcoin, if you had only invested $100 back in 2009, today you will be having an excess of $70 million. That's an excess of 6 million % actually since inception.
Yes.
That's at how many years?
That's from
2010. Or 2010.
2010 since we checked.
6 or 7 years to date.
It was 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years to date. That's the returns you're looking at. But now, the difference is when you go and buy Bitcoins, what you are buying in essentially is commodities that you're going to use to buy stuff. But we offer something called an ETF. So, how many know of ETFs? They're electronic traded finance. So, an ETF is an aggregate of, let's say you have Safaricom, KCB, all those major several companies that are listed. So an EFT is a share. It's an index that is created which has an aggregate of maybe the 5 best performing companies. And then somebody gives it a name and sells it as shares that you can then purchase. So they make investing in the stock market a bit easier since the capital requirements are way lower than if you have to go direct and purchase. Also, ETFs also do spread the risk. So you're not tied down to one particular firm. Your risk is spread over about 10 or 20 firms, so it's a bit safer. And the performance of an ETF is an aggregate performance of all the companies that comprise the ETF itself. So we want to do the same for cryptocurrencies. Here for a chart. So this is a chart of Bitcoin since inception to date. Now, that's why it started in 2010. That's why I have data from when one was trading less than $1. So to date, their one is about $270. $2,700, yeah. That's the average price. So the next one. Now this is the performance of the Ethereum. So this is way before everybody knew about it. This is the September 1st, 2015 to January 28th, 2017, which is today. So nobody knew about it, everybody knew about the technology, and up it went. So that also has witnessed an average annual return of about 160% or something. So then we come to how do you invest? Now, there's 2 ways. The first way is you can just go by directly and purchase your Bitcoins, put them in a hard disk somewhere and just hope in 7 years you remember where you stored that hard disk. Or you can go the Moneyjet way, where you can buy into our cryptocurrency asset classes, which here with the Bitcoin ETF. For comparison, the Bitcoin has a market cap of $45 billion. NSC, the Nairobi Stock Exchange, has a market capitalization of $24 billion. And it has been here since when I was born, it has been around. Now this is something new, 7 years old, it's about 45 billion. Same way with the Ethereum. Now, we also offer an aggregate index, which is the Moneyjet All-Share, which is the Bitcoin, 45 billion, Ethereum 17, Rico Coin has about 6 billion. All what I mentioned is the market capitalization. It's the money in fiat currency that is available to trade at any given point. Then you have the Litecoin about 1.6 and Dash about $1.2 billion. So everything here on the all-share index is above $1 billion. Okay, now. Okay, so you can skip this, we'll come back to that. So if you ask me, how would you get on board and how would you be part of this? So we offer an app that will be releasing on 1st November. which you can use to trade into these assets. You can buy them from your Kenya shilling, your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, you can buy into them. And then we offer both short-term and long-term. Short-term being 3 months, so you have to buy into the currency for 3 months. And long-term going as much as 25 years investment.
25 years?
Yeah,
That's too long.
25 years.
Yes. Should be 5 years or 10 years. Longest 10 years.
No, 25, you know, there's some people here will be looking at retirement at that time. So it's a very good investment.
What about the waiting period? If you wait for too long, then
No, you see,
there are results on this case of regulation and going underground.
in case of
Regulation and going underground.
No, that's not possible because, like my colleague there has been explaining all the value of Bitcoins is based on the people who own it. They determine the value versus Kenya shilling, which is determined by the central bank policies. So it will be the election period, and after this, they will be mopping up all that money that politicians are spending, so it will be technically worthless. So this one on the other side is determined by about 7 billion people. Anybody who knows about it can be part of it. So it's to me, there's the speculators, but if you're looking at it from a long-term perspective, it's safer than investing in Kenyan tickets.
So if I invest in this, that means you are the one who are going to buy those Bitcoins or Ethereum,
Yeah, on your behalf.
and you store them.
On your behalf.
What if you get hacked or something?
We are liable.
So you still pay me.
Yeah, but we still pay you.
You're liable and you're not regulated.
Yeah. Yes?
You're liable but you're not regulated.
Long term.